Hey guys, it's me Simone, back at it again. Welcome back to the dolly world. The doll world, all the worlds of dolls. So, I realized I still have not posted anything about my story, so I wanted to do that real quick. I have like 3 videos I'm going to try to bust out and record today and schedule those over the next week. So, it's going to be this video, a comparison video with my recast and my legit, and I might do a face up with me, and we chat about different things in the doll community. So yes, if you're interested in that, that should be coming out soon. I know the dolly face up with me is going to be a little more time consuming, so that may come out later, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's get to that. Let's get started. Let's get into it. Let's see. Let's get some backstory first before I find like where I want to start off with. So these characters, I've actually had them for a long time. When I was younger, I actually had the story and these characters in different forms. When I was younger, I used to play, with Barbie dolls and Brat dolls and all kinds of dolls. But unlike now, Barbies didn't come in different sizes. They just were the standard Barbie size. So it was just different colors in the standard Barbie size. Same thing with Ken. Different color Ken, some different face molds depending on the Ken, but the same overall. It's the same height. And so I really wanted to make stories. In my stories I had, the characters I was creating for the story didn't fit that. And I didn't want all my characters to be the same size, the same muscular build. Like, there was no variety. I wanted some girls to look prettier, some girls to be taller, shorter, boys to be taller, shorter, more muscular. And I ended up going with baby dolls. Sounds weird, right? So I play with my baby dolls. Oh, I saw something there. I literally got someone be like, squirrel, squirrel. So I got baby dolls because baby dolls, you could easily get them in different sizes, different thicknesses, and I had those. So I used those baby dolls as my characters, and I could easily buy clothes for them at like the thrift store in the dollar section, and have them a more intricate, outfit array. Unlike my Barbie dolls. Barbie doll clothes are kind of expensive, okay? Alright. And again, I didn't want all my dolls to be the same size. I want to be different, but still like kind of fit together. And Barbies and Brats don't really like big head, more proportionate size doll. No. And so I ended up doing with baby dolls. I loved it. I didn't have all the baby dolls, so what I didn't have a baby doll for, they became a stuffed animal, which you'll kind of get which ones were stuffed animals when I get to introducing the characters and stuff. But these characters have been around for a long time, and I recently got rid of them because the baby dolls are getting kind of, old and nasty looking. And I told myself, it's time to grow up and get rid of these baby dolls out of my life. And I was okay with that at first. And then kind of like wish I had the characters in some sense. Like, I wish I had them somewhere in my house, like in a different form that was just a little bit better. And that's actually when I bumped across BJDs. Actually, I bumped across reborn babies first, and then BJDs. And I was like, ooh, BJDs are perfect. They're gonna be different sizes, different kind of fineness, everything. And that's what I wanted to do. It was either going to be BJDs, or I was actually going along the route of doing cloth dolls. Now, I was going to do cloth dolls and make my own cloth dolls from scratch, and I could actually really do like fat dolls and really short dolls, and yeah. But I'm a little lazy, and I would have to be able to do a lot, make the whole doll from scratch. All the face up, the clothing, like everything. I mean, I could try to make my dolls fit a specific size, of clothing that's already out there, like make them be able to fit Barbie doll clothes or whatever, but they couldn't be that tall. It's a whole thing. So yeah, and you can definitely make cloth dolls ball jointed. Actually, it's not that hard. I just didn't do it because I don't know. I was like, man, are you really gonna put all that time in to make each doll from scratch? I don't think so. So I didn't do that. I kind of went with BJDs. It would have been technically cheaper, but I like the BJDs, and I would have been disappointed if I made some of those dolls, because I would have to practice and get better, so the characters won't be as good as they would have been in the beginning, and I just didn't want to go through all that, so I didn't. So that's kind of like a little brief background story. Now, because the story was such a long, drawn out story, and I've had the story in my mind and these characters for years, and they've done similar things. Sometimes I have like alternate universes where this character's not this anymore, he's this, and you know, he's here and he's there, but they've stayed pretty much in the same path the entire time with no real variations, unless I was doing like an alternate universe kind of situation, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's say the character is this very brawly, intimidating dude with a huge ego, and in an alternate universe he's maybe this shy, timid, burly man. You know, his whole personality just flips, and now these tiny skinny little boys are picking at him, and he's just so easily picked on, but he's just mean. Not mean looking, but he's this burly big dude, but he's getting picked on by these kids who are like almost a foot shorter than him, kind of thing. Like, I like to play it out, see what I like the best, but I still go back to my same story. Or maybe these people who are enemies become best friends in the alternate universe that they played with it for a bit. So I've done alternate universes before. It's just fun to explore different things and act them out and play them out, but that's kind of how I wanted to like introduce the story to y'all. So I actually needed to go through and add more depth to the story, add more character information, because you know, I've had this story for a long time. I know how my characters are. I know their pros and cons, or their personality with different interactions, and the pros and cons of each person, and what makes them tick. But I need to write that out so I could tell y'all, and it makes sense, and develop the story a little bit more, because you know, the story was made when I was a kid, so there's not a lot of character development or easy to follow information. I had to kind of have to revise and see what I was trying to say with that. So that's what I had to do to keep these characters, make them make sense. It's not like oh, that's interesting, okay. No, I want to make sense. So let's get into this. I'm going to go through each character in a video, a dedicated video geared towards them. And so if that's going to be like when I do my, I think I told you about my videos, I'm going to focus on one doll at a time and do their face ups and do their wigs and do everything. And in those videos, I'll mention about the character and talk you through the character in those videos and stuff. All my dolls now are in my closet behind me, because I have no place to display them. I need to add some shelving. So once that happens, they'll be displayed somewhere else. Alright, so let's get the background. Let's get into the story. 10 minutes in, guys, I haven't told you anything, right? You're like, what's Simone? What's going on? I know, right? I'm diving in hard. So basically, in this continent, there's a country called Melody, and the provinces in Melody basically structure society in a ranking system, 0 to 5. This ranking system basically defines what you can, it defines how much you can make and who you are in society. Now, this ranking system has different ticks on like what will contribute to a higher ranking, but overall it balances on contributions to the society, your family name, your looks, and your social standing. That makes any sense. Now, some provinces are better than others, and some are worse than others, have more strict rules, vice versa. But overall, it's still the same. It's just like maybe beauty really affects your score, your ranking, and not so much your community service or your service to the society. So, once you enter into the province, if you're born into the province, you are getting a ranking based on your family name and other things that you contribute. You can move up in your ranking, but the best way to move up, like really significantly in your ranking, would be to do something big. So I'll give you an example of a high ranking person in society. Let's say you invented the light bulb, example, and that your family name will be raised because you did something super huge, regardless if you were ugly looking, or your previous family name wasn't like the best, they didn't do anything. You now did something, so everybody after you will have a higher ranking, and they could either go up or go down, which you can go down. So that's kind of like it. If you help establish that province, your ancestor helped establish a province, you're going to have a higher ranking, and the family after that will have a baseline of a high ranking, and then you can improve on that or lower it based on whatever. Now, your ranking doesn't necessarily mean you will be poor. The society is broken up in sections, basically, like 0 to 2, and then 3 and 5, kind of like things. And you can definitely see the difference, but it doesn't necessarily mean you be poor. You can be poor or lower income, okay, than the average, and a higher ranking, and have a high ranking, or be really wealthy with a lower ranking. The biggest difference is going to be your wealth in comparison. So let's say as a doctor, on a lower ranking, you make $80,000 a year. Let's just say that for a number. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, there's so much money in lower ranking. But if you were in the same position in higher ranking, you would make $200,000. That's still a lot of money in their society, you see. Or that's not, but in their ranking. And so that's a big difference. You could still be a doctor, but you wouldn't be a doctor paid that much, if you get what I'm saying. Now, your ranking does not stop you from doing things, it just will make it harder. You have more connections the higher ranking you are, and the older you get, your ranking really does affect you. So your ranking will not affect you, nor will any of this affect you until you get to high school. My characters are just in high school, so the ranking is starting to help to affect them, or help them, or hinder them, whatever you want to do. This just means, let's say you want to go to a pristine school. The higher ranking people would get in first based on their academic, and then it would go down the list, and whatever slots were available and whoever did the best would get in. Now, you can be a low ranking person and get in a very prestigious school if your grades and everything you did was just that amazing. They would make a way, but overall you would go to a school that's closer in your range of your rating, or school that's like more affordable. But you can 100%, you will. And even if you did get a job in a high ranking facility, so let's say you are a lower rank and you did get that high rank position, if you were a doctor and a lower rank and you went back to school and you got more education and you landed a job in a higher rank area, and now you're making $200,000, your ranking would not go up by much. It would stay pretty much the same. You would just be one of the few people who's making buku money with a low rating. It would just be a little harder for you. It wouldn't be as easy as it is for those who is already at that ranking. I can't talk. If you get where I'm going. If you're getting where I'm going, that's what I'm saying. So the province that we're in is called Dinadine. Dinadine province is one of the few provinces that is way more accommodating. Your social standing, your community service and contributions and everything really does affect your score. Now if you have a high ranking and you don't do nothing, depending if you don't do anything, you may not go down by much, but you will not go up. It will affect, if your score is really high, it won't affect you as much, but if you do something bad, it will affect you because you have no thing to balance it out. If you see what I'm saying, if you went and you stole or you did some kind of corrupt thing in business and you never do anything good for the community, it wouldn't balance you out, so it would take you down pretty far. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's really it. So you're thinking, okay, Simone, dinner dine, that's where we're at and everything. Who does the ranking? That is the society. So the society is a group of people that are voted in, and the society basically decides what your ranking, I can't talk, it's going to be. And these people are voted in, so you as the citizens vote who is going to basically weigh how you do everything and make your number. So they're voted in. You can outvote, you can kick them out of office, but they're voted in. So people in this society do actually like their ranking system for the most part. You know, there's people who don't, but overall people love it and don't see any change. There are a few provinces in Melodyne that do or did abolish the ranking system, but that's not this one. And if you just move to Melodyne and you move to one of these provinces that does have a ranking, you will start off with a very low ranking because there's nothing to weigh you, especially if you come from a country, a province that doesn't have a system and they can't like cross. Oh, what did she do back there? What was her rank? Like, what was the criteria for this number? Like, what's going on? So if you came from a different town, state, country that didn't do this, you're gonna be low in the total. Now just know it's almost impossible to get a complete 5. That's not a ranking. It is a number, but there's nobody who's gotten that number. Nobody. And the society, the voting society, actually does not get ranked. So them and their immediate family members do not get ranked. They are basically immune to the ranking system when they're voted in. So your number basically just kind of just pauses. Nothing happens to it until you for the kids, the children, until they get older, then the ranking system may come, their ranking will start to affect them a little bit, but depends. Look, the sun's going up and down, up and down. So yeah, if you are a child of one of the society members, then your ranking won't really, it doesn't really affect you too much. When you leave, I think under your family umbrella, when you leave on your family's umbrella, your ranking will kind of affect you, but just not as much. It would have, the biggest thing that will affect you is if you do like criminal activity. So if you went to jail from doing something bad like robbery, killing someone, things like that, then yes. But overall, your ranking will not really be touched by your actions because it's kind of frozen, but not really, if that makes any sense, because you are technically on your own, but you're technically a daughter of a society member. So they kind of do that for fairness, so no society member can bump up their children. So until you move out, your ranking really won't fluctuate much. So it can't go up by really anything, and it can't go down. It will just freeze where it's at until your family either leaves, gets voted out, their term's up, or you grow up, and then your ranking can fluctuate a little bit, but not by much. It depends on if you do a bunch of bad actions. And for fairness, your parents cannot vote on your ranking. So any family member cannot vote on a family member's ranking. That is this rule. Who knows if they follow that? You know. Yes. So you'll see that plays in. There are some characters who just moved to, you know, this Melodyne and just moved to Dinadyne. Hope I'm saying that right. Did I say it right? Dinadyne. Did I say it right? I think I said it right. Dinadyne, right? Okay. And there are some children in the story. They're kind of like side characters that are children of a society member. So yes, this is like a big deal. So our characters are just entering into high school, where this number is really going to be important. We have students who are just coming into this area, moving in for the first time and getting settled in and confused about the ranking system. We have students who are higher up in the ranking system and ones that are just kind of in the middle, people who don't care. And they're basically, what they're doing now is figuring out what they want to do, because they got 4 years. And that ranking is going to really play a part in the classes they can take, the availability of resources like internships, especially they're very popular, if you see what I'm saying. And school goes the same way. Eventually in school, you're going to get to a point where your ranking will start to affect who gets in class first. As freshmen, it won't. You're kind of slowly going to, as the semester goes, you'll see more and more things happen where your ranking will really play a part in what you do and don't do, or what classes you can go. This is not including your core classes. So this is not English and grammar and all kinds of stuff. This is extra classes. If you want to take an advanced class or a fun class, an internship, that's where your ranking will kind of. You still need to learn, you know, your language class, your, you know, your reading, writing class. You still need that, guys. So I hope this makes sense. It kind of breaks it in, and then we're going to go through. I'm talking too fast, sorry guys. We're gonna go through each character. Most likely Erica's gonna be first because she's getting her wig done. That's gonna be my little wig with me, or my face up with me. It's gonna be her, and it's her. And I get her clothes ready, and then it's going to be Ricky next, because Ricky, those two, well, because I've had them for the longest, they're like the most done. Next to that is Garrett, my Arvid doll. He's done. Oh, well, he's in the process of getting hair, so I'm pretty much the same stage that Erica Ricky is at. He's at the same stage. His face up is already done and everything, so I'm so proud of them. It looks so good, guys. Oh gosh. All right, I gotta crank out another video after this. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I got excited. I'm sorry. I will put like captions if I have to, so you guys heard what I said. I realize sometimes I talk a little fast. I'm sorry. Alright guys, that's it. Bye. 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 Go play with your dolls. Have a great day, and be safe. Bye.